Craig, at the conclusion of this series, how would you assess it overall?
We lost the series. It's the bottom line. We played some solid baseball throughout it, but in the end, lost 2 out of 3.
What did you see in the 5th inning from Michael King?
Yeah, he just kind of lost the strike zone there. We've seen bouts of that from Michael throughout this season, and he just wasn't really able to rein it in, and kind of got cornered in against Mookie, and Mookie made him pay for it.
Were you able to see that maybe the final ball to Freddy was a strike?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll check on the ABS. I haven't looked at it. It's hard to look at that stuff in game. I know it was a missed location pitch. Those are always tough for the catcher to, the bases loaded, trying to protect the plate. We challenged a few of those early in the game and got them. I know Michael did one. So, yeah, we've got to be great at the ABS, and we're not going to get everyone right, especially in a big situation like that. It's nice, but it would have been nice to get that one.
And there were some other things later in the game, maybe some opportunities the offense missed, but these short starts from the starters, how much does this need to get fixed for you guys to be what you can be?
Yeah, it definitely puts our bullpen in a tough spot, where we're just using them and sometimes unable to use them in the correct lanes just because they're the only person available, and I think, we just got to get a little bit more out of the starters. They got to be able to at least give us 5. Otherwise, we got to, figure out a different way to do it.
How can you do that? Is it just like those guys perform through the 5th, line it a little longer? I know it was different, but just generally speaking, how do you get more from those guys?
Yeah, they got to pitch better and they got to throw strikes. That's number one, is you make the other team put the ball in play and play the percentages. That's number one. Number 2 is we've just got to get a little bit better, overall be able to manage getting through the game. And then I think the other part is we've tried to be a little creative with it too, with the openers and all that stuff's still on the table, and bullpen games and things like that. Everything's on the table to try to make it better. You think of it, we'd probably try it. We've already talked about it.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of anything. What have you seen from Manny lately at the plate?
Yeah, Manny had a great series in my opinion for the most part. A great game today too. A home run and then a double off Scott. Even a really good ball to right center off Vesia. We like having him in between those 2 lefties because we feel like he's going to face a lefty more often than not late in the game. And you can just see his swing is kind of back to the old Manny swing. That swing he took off Scott, line drive down left field line. That swing was pretty, and that's what we remember from Manny. And the other part of that is he played great defense this series too. His head's always in the ball game. He's always thinking about the next way to get an out or to get an extra out. He definitely showed a ton of leadership on the field in the series against the Dodgers, as he does a lot of times.
Going to go back to Freddy's at bat. He falls behind 0-2, takes 3, works to 3-2, fouls off 3 really good pitches, and then draws the walk. You see that kind of approach kind of up and down the lineup. Is that something this organization only want guys who are going to be really pesky and make you work for it, or is that something to the quality of the type of player that they have over there, like 7 all-stars in the starting lineup?
Yeah, Freddie's a really good hitter. I remember facing him a few times and having those similar bats. He's just never going to give in, and you've got to make good pitches. He forces you to make really good pitches, and on the mound we've got to be able to compete in that same manner. Michael did. He went after him and apparently struck him out. Unbeknownst to me, I can't do a whole lot about it, but that's just the type of player he is. They have a few of those. We have a few of them also. That's why the games that we play against them are usually pretty tight.
Is that something you guys need to do more of yourselves? Do you have the quality of player to do that, to work more counts, foul off more tough pitches, try to just do anything you can?
Yeah, I think when you were first talking about it, I thought you were talking about Freddy Freeman in the last inning. So we do have plenty of those guys that take those at-bats. I think when you look at it through different kind of lenses and that part of the game, we can always pick out one at-bat and say, hey, we can do that all the time. I think our hitters do that more often than not. I think it's smart for us to look for those opportunities when they do it right, and then pat them on the back and say you're doing a great job, and hopefully that reinforces more of those types of at-bats.
As you're ready to go on the road again, what do you come home, you win 4 out of 6. What did you take from this homestand?
Yeah, overall, we played the Braves really good. Get a sweep against a good team. Play the Dodgers, beat them the first game, have some momentum. Yesterday's game gets away from us. We came out today, played pretty hard. 2-run ball game, had chances, throughout the game. In the end, we won 1 series and we lost 1 series. And we're here, that's our goal every time we play a team, is to win the series. Eventually, hopefully, it gets to the point of October where we just got to win a series. I think that's all we're thinking about. That's all our mindset every day is how can we win the series. So we won one and we lost one. So we'll call it an even.
You were part of a bullpen where they found solutions as long as you could in 2021. Like, at what point does it become like, wow, this is unsustainable?
Yeah, my biggest worry because I lived it and I know what that was like and I know how we were feeling at the end of the season. We felt good, but it just wasn't the same. And as my job as manager is to try to protect the bullpen in that way so that they are a strength for the entire season, not just in May and June.
Thanks.